Hey guys, Ian here, the Critical Virgo. Welcome back to another Fragrance Fridays. If you are new here, then welcome. Just so you know, there are timestamps to everything down below, so if you want to fast forward to something, go ahead, that's what they're there for. Today's not going to be my typical type of review. It's more of like a story time deal for two reasons. There was an interesting story behind this that inspired this Fragrance Fridays. And this is a fragrance that got really hyped and a lot of people have talked about it, so there's really no need for me to go deep into the notes and da-da-da. I'm going to give you my opinion on this scent, and if you want to know the notes, they are going to be down below. I'm not going to go into it. And I'll give you my final recommendation. So let's start with the story time. Like I said, something interesting happened. I went to the office about 3 weeks ago. I don't go in every week. I'm on a rotating schedule because of the virus that we're going to call the ick. Now, on my side of the office, it's very quiet. There are literally like 4 people on my side. And it's a huge building because we have like a huge executive suite, the whole floor. My side, super quiet. And this morning, I remember putting on Profumo Roma Confetto. It's one of my signatures, and you guys know how I do if you've been here a while. I go ham. I'm like 1 spray here, like at least 6 sprays at minimum. And it's a pretty potent fragrance that projects a lot. So it takes me a while to dry down, and I don't have a long drive in. It's about maybe 15-20 minutes max, depending on traffic. I get to the office, I sit down, and with the ick going on, obviously I'm washing my hands a lot, using a lot of lotion, and I love scented lotion, so that does add an extra layer of scent to me. So I get to the office, I do my thing, wash my hands, put my lotion on, sitting down, and you know, I'm just enjoying my little scent bubble that I got going on. And I see one of my coworkers walk by, and I get like this whiff of something. I'm like, oh man, that smells good. And again, because of everything I had going on, I wasn't sure if it was me or her. So I just like kind of made a little mental note about it. And she doesn't pass by much, but recently more, just because she got an attorney with an office near me. So she passed by like maybe 2 or 3 more times, and I kept smelling the smell. So I'm like, okay, it's gotta be her. It's gotta be her, or maybe a combination of the two of us. She comes over, she asked me a question. And once we were done talking about like work stuff, I said, hey, by the way, what are you wearing? Because you smell really good. And immediately she was really apologetic because, you know, you either fall into one of 2 categories where you don't like to wear loud fragrances and you're very mindful about your coworkers, or you're like me. You kind of push it as much as you can. If someone complains, then you dial back the fragrance. But yeah, so we are opposites in that regard. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She wasn't really sure what she put on that day. And I was like, well, you know, maybe when you go home, check it out, let me know. Because it smells really good. It was sweet. It just smelled like very classy fragrance. I couldn't really make anything out because obviously we're like social distancing, but it was very pleasant, classy. I perceived it as being, you know, that way, and also feminine. And I think, I don't know if, you know, maybe her outfit had part to do with it, but just so you can kind of get a visual of where I'm coming from. Most people in my office don't really dress up. This is what I wore to work today. Okay, like, just be happy I put on clothes. That's me at this point. She was very well put together. She had this like badass blazer on, and I can't remember if she had like a skirt or pants on, but I do remember her boots, and they were freaking fabulous. They're like these really high cream colored, they were like bejeweled red bottom boots, just gorgeous. So I just made a note of her blazer and her boots, but she was very well put together, and she's a really pretty lady. And you know, obviously things like that, like visuals, just kind of like impact how you perceive things. And whatever she was wearing that day just completely tied everything in and just made the outfit. She was rocking it. Like, you could tell she woke up and she was like, I'm gonna get it together. I'm feeling myself today. And she did it well. I wasn't really sure like where she was with fragrance, because she was talking about like a lot of Jo Malone scents, and she wasn't sure what this fragrance was because her birthday had just passed, and my birthday passed recently too. And I found out today that she is a Virgo too. So that's why she has good taste, okay? We got good taste. And the fragrance she was wearing was something that her husband got her. So it was a fairly new addition to her collection. And I was like, hey, you know, like when you get home, just make a mental note of it or write it down. Let me know what it is because I really like it. I worked from home the next week and she sent me a little message through one of our systems and told me that she decanted some of the perfume that she was wearing that day. She wrote the name down on a piece of paper and she left it at my desk. And I thought that was like so sweet. But also in my head, I'm like, okay, this lady has some like vials to decant stuff. And, you know, we're talking about all these different houses, kind of, sort of, when she was trying to remember what fragrance this is. Maybe we have something in common. I get to my desk on Monday, this Monday. And there is a little post-it note and it says, Rose Prick. I was so excited. I'll tell you why. So this Tom Ford fragrance had a lot of hype, like what, 8-9 months ago, before the ick. Saw a lot of people buying it. I was really interested because of the name and the 3 different types of rose. Obviously, you guys know I love rose fragrances. I'm really partial to them. So I was like, I'll probably really like this. I didn't get out there in time and everything shut down. And then I started like listening to reviews, reading them, and they were not so positive. So I was like, okay, well, I dodged that bullet. I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy a sample. I'm gonna wait until everything opens up again. Well, I've been wearing it all week. So here's my take on it. I'll give you a little brief overview of how it wears. I spray it on, Rose Blast. I get a sweet, jammy, candy type of rose. It's really nice. As it dries down, I start to notice different things. It doesn't transform a whole lot, but I do notice things. Like I notice a little bit of powderiness coming through. I start to notice a little bit of that spiciness, that pepper coming through. It feels a little more masculine, but it's very unisex, very, very unisex. Overall, very pleasant. It's got a light creaminess to it from that Tonka. It's very well blended. I have mixed feelings about this. So I really like it overall because of the rose aspect. I enjoy it very much. I have a very positive association with it, and clearly I liked it because when I first saw my coworker and I smelled her, I don't know if part of it has to do with the visual image and her outfit, how well it was put together, but I just have a very positive association with it and a very positive experience with it. I can understand why some people have negative feelings about it if their experience wearing it with projection and longevity was not what they had expected. Personally, my experience has been great. I live in South Florida. It's very hot. It's very humid. I have been indoors. I haven't been outdoors. So I can't tell you how this is going to wear on like a hot day where I'm out brunching, you know, all morning in the sun. But, you know, I do walk around the office a little bit outside in the heat. Obviously going to and from my car. I'm in the air conditioning most days, but I spray this on in the morning and it's there when I get home. It's a full day's worth of wear. As far as like production goes, it's been very decent. Like I always know it's there. I think a lot of it comes down to where you're spraying it and how much you're spraying it. Also like the hydration level of your skin. With the ick around, I wash and lotion like crazy. So my skin has been extra hydrated, you know. So that might have something to do with it. Also, you know, I do spray quite liberally. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 or 6 sprays of this. And it's, if you spray that much, you will get some good production and longevity. I can guarantee that. Okay. My coworker, she did not spray that much and I could still smell her. Maybe people are going a little nose blind to this. I don't know what the thing is. Maybe they got a bad bottle. Who knows? I can't tell you what the batch code is for my coworker's bottle. I'm not going to ask her to bring it in. Maybe if you're really that curious, I'll ask her to take a photo and show me so I can report back. But I've had a really positive experience. I don't know if I would pick this up, even though I do really enjoy it, just because of the price point. That's a real sticking issue for me with this line of Tom Ford fragrances. You know, it's hard for me to commit $350 of my hard-earned money on less than 2 ounces of fragrance. It's really difficult. Now, this is a nice scent. It is not the most unique scent, and that's where I struggle with recommending it. It's not like something so unique and distinct where if I smelled it, I could just say, oh my gosh, that's Tom Ford Rose Prick. I might say, hey, is that this? But I would have a lot of doubt in my question. You know, I mean, if you have the money to burn and you enjoy rose fragrances, then, you know, it's nice to have in your collection. Or if you collect this line of Tom Ford fragrances, it's a gorgeous bottle, really nice to have on your, you know, your counter. I'm personally not going to buy it, but I did really enjoy my time with it. I have some crappy skin and I got a full day's wear out of it. I think, again, like I said, it depends on where you're spraying, and I do spray all around here. It gets on my shirt, it gets in my hair. So it's all around. It's not something that I really smell on my clothes the next day, but it is very long lasting on me. And I personally really enjoyed it. I don't have a lot of bad things to say, honestly, other than the price point. I think that's what really kills it for me. $3.50 for 1.7 ounces is a hard pill to swallow. And I think that maybe if it was like $120, I would buy it. But $3.50 at that price point for so few ounces, I really want something super unique that when I wear it, people will say, that is this. This scent, even though it is very lovely, you know, I feel like you could achieve something similar by layering fragrances. So I think, you know, where you are in your collection, if you are a collector, then you may want to buy this because it's a gorgeous bottle. It would probably complete it. But if you have a lot of different scents, you could probably achieve something similar, like a similar feel by layering scents. So it's difficult. It's a personal pass from me, again, because of that price point, and I feel like I could achieve a similar feel. I can't duplicate it, but I could achieve something similar with the fragrances that I have. What those are, I don't know. I might play around, and if I come up with something, I'll post it at a later date. But that's all I have for you now. I am a fan of this fragrance. Not enough to pay the $3.50. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my time with this decant because it is super lovely, and I'm so grateful that she shared it with me. It was a really great bonding experience. I actually told her that I have this channel and I would be talking about it at some point soon. So I hope she enjoyed this too. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, you know where to put them. I love hearing from you. Until next Friday. Bye guys.